How do we learn to have that trust and the faith that there might be something great coming to us when we draw a line in the sand and we say we're not going back to this personality we had, these habits, these behaviors, this industry that we were in that served us so well for so long. Yeah. But now I'm saying no to that old way of being and trusting that something greater is going to wash over me. How do we trust? Because it could have not happened for you.
It could have not happened. We might not be sitting here right now. I might not have gone on to do the work that I've been doing since then. I might not have had the courage to go write the book. I might be that high school football coach that I was thinking about being.
Really?
Yeah. I might be that wildlife guide in Africa that I was thinking about being. I might be that conductor of a symphony that I was thinking about becoming, and not sitting here. How do we trust it? I think, look, when the decision came to me, I was in a position to hear the truth. My heart was looking and my mind were looking, and I was giving myself room to cut out all the outside stimulus.
Yes.
And you know how when those truths come, they land like a lightning bolt and a butterfly at the same time. But you know they're true, and they're true for you when they land. And you go, oh, that was a direct line. Whether you're religious or you call it the prime mover, the way maker, the universe, whatever you want to call it. That was a direct line, and that's true to me. And then comes the hard part. Trust in that truth when the sun rises and you're back in the middle of the masses. They're all going, hey, try this, what are you doing? They weren't there for that truth last night. Their truth that they think of you was the same one you had the day before, but now your truth is different. So trust in that and not letting your onion get peeled, because that's what happens. It starts to strip away. You know, it's why I think why people have, church once a week. Because you're good on Monday, but come Friday, you don't need it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You start to forget the things, That's why we need to update, maintain ourselves with our mental health, spiritual health, and physical health. Understanding it is one thing, but then keep it in action and trusting in it, and having the patience to trust it to another. So it hit me in a clear way that I knew it was true. I had someone in my life, Camilla, that was close to me, that I could share it and understood it, and understood in the way that I shared it with her. She was like, okay, I hear you. You're not negotiating. You're not asking me a question. You're sharing with me the truth for you, so I can be by your such and say this, so I can be by your side and make sure you stick to it, because I know how important this is to you.
What was that truth that you heard or that came to you at that time?
That I needed to do something different, more. I needed more to fulfill me at that point. That while I was happy that I was getting off so much to the vitality in my real life, more so than my work, I even looked in the mirror and said, well, if it's got to be one way or the other, congratulations. Because a lot of times, I've had the times where you're getting off to your work more than your real life. Right? But I was like, I believe my work can challenge the vitality of my life. I hope that my life is more vital than my work for as long as possible, please. I hope it is. But I think I can get my work to challenge the vitality and make me sweat my boots in the right way, in the same way that my life is, to give me the joy and the pain and all that the way my life is. And so I was like, we'll bet on it and make it non-negotiable, make one bet and stick to it.
Wow.
And sometimes it's endurance. So trust in that. I never questioned going back on my decision.
No matter how much money.
No.
20 million, 30 million, 100 million, you'd be like, it's just not worth it.
No. Because as the number, trust me, when that number went from 8 to 10, 12 to 14.5, I started getting a little.
Ooh, maybe I got a little.
I was like, here we go. Here we go.
You want me?
It didn't go from 8 to 6 to 4 to 2.
Right, went up.
It went up, and I was like, okay, I'm getting leverage in this. And I realized when I turned down the 14.5, I said, I got a sneaky suspicion this may give me a little leverage, because that's a big number.
And that's, there's a small community of the agents and the managers and the directors in Hollywood, and everyone's got to hear that you turned this down.
I was sure hoping so. And I believe they did. Right. Now, Hollywood could come tell me how much my hypothesis on that is true, but I've heard from quite a few whispers like, no, you turned that down. People went, double took and went, he did what? Right. Which, I don't know, made me more attractive in a new way. You know, or maybe, you know, when someone does that and you're like, oh, they got their own thing going. They didn't just remove themselves and sitting out there wandering in the desert. They're onto something. I don't know what it is, but you can become more attractive. And in a way, I think I became more attractive for that reason. People were like, turn out 14.5. He's got something going on. He's got a point of view. He's doing this for a reason. He's got some purpose with which he's doing this.
Now you had your first kid right around then, or a year before then?
No, right in there. It was about a little less than a year into that.
One of the things I respect and admire about you is, yes, your career is incredible, but the fact that you have been in a loving, committed relationship for
16 years.
16 years. Yeah. You've got 3 kids. And you have found a lot of fulfillment in the richness of living, not just in making money and the career and the success and the fame. Yeah. It's one of the things I respect about you. It's one of the things me and Martha were talking about this morning, about how you could have been the bachelor forever.
Yeah.
Where do you think your life would have been in that year had you not had the loving, committed relationship, child as well, first child? Where do you think temptation would have led you, or do you think you would have made the same decision with the sand in the ground? Or was it having a committed, conscious, loving relationship and partner and teammate that allowed you to have the courage to act with that line in the sand?
Well, the only reason I pause here is because I'm trying to wonder how little of credit to give the relationship, because I'm not going to say it's 100%, but it's up there. The relationship, having her and now about to become a father, which was the only thing I ever wanted to be, had great resonance for me. I, had a relationship which gave me, just singularly with Camilla, gave me more the license and courage to fly. But now I'm going to become immortal, so to speak, with a child coming into the world. It's one thing I ever dreamed of being, become a father. That's at the top of my list since I was a kid. Now I'm like, well, this is what I'm doing. This part of life has always taken precedent before anything I did since got famous, won this or won that. My career was always in front of a Hollywood career, always. That's what I mean by JK living. That's why just keep living has always been sort of a mantra. At the end of the day, they argue with that. At the end of the day, that wins out. I've always wanted to have a life that I'm leading first, and I became an actor and a movie star and famous, but not, I'm an actor, movie star and famous, so now what do I do? How do I live my life according to that? No, I wanted to keep those in order.